In fashion, a lot of times we follow the idea, this beautiful, fabulous look, what we have in mind or we designed. And sometimes we don't think about what kind of fabric we're using or what impact our work makes on the environment. We want to still create beautiful, fabulous clothing, but be nice to things around us.
So a lot of folks don't recognize that most of the fibers that we use in our clothing are plastic-based. So even when we just wear them, but especially when we wash and dry them, those fibers and fabrics are shedding those plastics. The fibers are then getting into our drinking water, our food, we're breathing them in, and the human health impacts of plastics, all of the plastics that we're ingesting, is not well understood yet.
My name is Jessica Frantel. I am an assistant professor in fashion design here at Mount Mary University. I definitely knew about sort of the larger waste issues in fashion, but the matter particularly of microplastics, I knew very little about going into this.
So this project is looking at young professionals in the fashion industry and looking for places of intervention where we can start to reduce the impacts of the fashion industry on plastics and water quality by really working with the people who are in the industry and helping them grow as professionals, thinking about sustainability from the outset rather than as an add-on later.
It's to go with my Sea Grant project that's coral inspired. So all of the appliques are inspired by different types of coral and like colors that actually exist in nature.
So one of the projects the students worked on was an upcycling project where they used materials gathered from a stuff swap to try to redesign a garment completely different from what it looked like before.
I made this cape, and all of the red fabric here was like a red jumpsuit. I was actually able to find 2 pairs of velvet pants at the stuff swap. So one of them became this shirt, and then the other one, I just cut it short and I made it into these shorts. So I think going into the industry, I really want to make sure to bring that sustainability wherever I go. And I think going forward into the future, having all of us students learn about that and learn about sustainability can really help bring that future that we're looking for.
So the team has come in and has done quite a few guest lectures on information about microplastics and waterways. Students, I think, have developed a stronger desire to use natural fibers. Natural fiber fabrics tend to be more expensive, especially currently. So our students don't necessarily have a lot of access to a closet full of silk fabric that they can just use, right? So I think it was very exciting for them to have higher quality material.
This is the project I've been working on. So it's all 100% silk, it's all natural materials, which is nice. That's what the grant allowed us to work with. Silk has been out of my price range for a very long time to be able to work with. I've always wanted to, but I've ended up working with silk-like materials, which is a fancy way of saying I'm wearing plastic, which I don't want to wear plastic, but it's been amazing to actually work with silk. There is no material quite like it. It's perfect, it's beautiful. The more we learn to use natural materials and to reuse materials until they simply cannot be reused anymore, we learn that we can put a little bit of a halt on things, slow things down a little bit. We can do our part. In terms of how to run a business and where to source things from, I know now to look into my sources, and that sometimes the cost of a natural material will be higher, but it's more important than getting the cheapest thing to get it out as quickly as possible.
I really like being able to give them information that I know will be meaningful to them and that they'll be able to take forward into the industry. So it's really reminding them that any effort is better than none, and you can do what you can do. It's not on you to change the entire world and fix the entire problem. That can't rest on one person. So you can control what is in sort of your sphere And you can take this information, and when you go into the industry, you can share this information and, you know, move things forward that way. Doing your best and putting the effort in is still absolutely worth it.